Hey folks, this is Vince with Dad's Gaming Addiction, and once again, we're going to quickly check out Capitalism Lab. So in my prior videos, I went over various aspects of the game, taught you a few things, hopefully, and today we're going to do something a little different. We're going to play through the game a little bit, show you how to put all of that together, as well as show off one of the DLC modules. So we're going to do a lot of different things today. So the DLC I want to look at is the Service Industry DLC. If you go to the DLC section, you can toggle these on or off, assuming that you own them. And if you're interested in any of this DLC, or if you're interested in purchasing the core game, you can check out my links in the below description. So let's go ahead and get this started. Custom game, I really like how you can just set up everything. I highly recommend, if you're a new player, that you go through all of these tabs and set it up the way you like it, and make it a bit more easy so that you can learn the game at your own pace. But that's just how I play. So I'm going to click on the DLC tab, click on the Service Industry tab again, and you can even customize these DLCs. So for example, the Service Industry DLC, you can toggle service firms, no or yes. You can toggle apartment and commercial buildings have retail space, no or yes. So you can adjust a variety of different things. Shopping malls, import companies, export companies, logistics. So yeah, not only can you get new things in this DLC, but you can adjust various aspects of the game that way too. I really like that. We're going to go ahead and start up a new game and just, I guess, entrepreneurial goals. We'll set that as our goal for the game. And I'm going to take a look at the different products that are available for import. And I hit F1 to do that. Now you'll note that this isn't updated fully. There's no green check marks next to these names, these categories. I'm going to let time go. There it goes. And I pause it again. So now we've got some green check marks next to some of these categories and products. You have to let time pass a little bit just to let the computer populate all of that stuff. And this will change from game to game. Sometimes computer stuff will be available. Sometimes it won't be. Sometimes furniture stuff will be available. Sometimes it won't. It all depends. So I think before we get into the service industry stuff, we want to set up a nice, easy production chain that'll make us some money so that we can then afford to mess around with the service industry stuff. So let's find something that people are going to want a lot of. So let's see. Watches, that's more of a high-tech thing. You'll see here, quality is determined by production tech 70%, raw material quality 30%. What that means is people value the modern equipment more so than the raw material of that thing. So as certain items in this game age, it's going to get outdated. So you have to use your R&D in order to keep up with the technology and continue producing modern quality product. And I showed you that in a prior video already, but again, we'll probably do it here too. This silver watch, for example, we could make it. We could import silver because there's a green check mark next to it. We can import glass. We could import steel, but we'd have to set up R&D for the production. Production tech is heavily weighted here. I want to try and find something that I don't need an R&D for right away, just to get things moving. So let's just go down the list. Fast food, that's more of the service industry stuff. We'll get into that in a little bit. That's some of the new things in this game, which I really like. Household products, again, these are heavily weighted. Jewelry, raw material quality, that might be something to look at, although the silver is 20%, gold is 40%, so the jewelry may not be the best thing to make. We could go with farming again and just sell some simple farm-related things. Sports equipment, that may not be a bad thing either, a backpack. Necessity index is 50%. A necessity index, again, I've covered this already, but that's how likely people will need it in their everyday lives. So 50% isn't terrible, but I would prefer 100% if I can swing 100%. What do people need a lot of? These are semi-products, which I don't think anyone needs. Yeah, jewelry is only 10%. I don't think people need that. Food, Fast food, drugs, cosmetics, perfume is 50%. Wow. Yeah, okay. Let's beverage, 90% milk. We can't make milk, but we can make wine. We can get people drunk. Oh, it's only 30%. How about grape juice? Grape juice is 50%. That's not bad. That's a thought. Maybe we look at grape juice or wine. Automobiles are only 10%. Clothing is 40%. Cake. We can make cake. I love that. Canned olives, 50%. Soup, 50%. Detergent, we can't import plastic. Washing powder. Now that's something to think about. 80%. Why don't we start with that? My only concern is we cannot make these things yet because we don't have timber, although we could mine out timber if we really needed it. Detergent, nah. I want an item that has multiple things in this category if I can swing it. And I know I'm being picky here, but it's important to start off strong if you can. Backpack, golf clubs, timber, we could make golf clubs, but that's only 20%. Necessity index. Wow, this is all bad. I mean, jeans. Yeah, let's make jeans. All right, let's go with clothes. We'll go with clothes. So I think the first thing we're going to do is we're going to make a factory. We're going to do a small factory, I think. And we want to put it somewhere close to everything. So we're going to put a factory there, hit the plus sign. We'll start producing some jeans. And again, all of that stuff will be imported automatically. And yeah, that's all we got to do. And we'll wait for that to get produced. We'll create another factory. We'll put that there. And we'll make some sweaters. That's 40% necessity index. Okay. And lastly, another factory. And we'll make a blazer, 40%. Okay, so we're making some clothes. They're all under the same category. Before I forget though, let's go ahead and change our brand. So we're gonna hit F1. We're gonna go to corporate details. We're gonna go to brand. And we're going to change, I think, to corporate brand. And again, I did cover this already. Unique brand is every product that you produce has its own brand. So if one tanks or does poorly, the other ones don't get affected by that. Corporate brand, everything's under one umbrella. Range brand is like household goods is its own brand, and clothing is its own brand. It all depends on the categories in that area that you saw, the manufacturing guide. I'm going to go ahead and hit corporation, the corporate brand. But yeah, range brand is like apparel is its own brand, and body care products is its own brand. So it sort of puts them into categories. You'll still have multiple brands, but only separated by category or product class as it is in this column. And now we need a place to sell that stuff. So let's go ahead and go to retail store, and the general store, I believe, is what, yeah, let's go with the general store, assuming that it can sell these things. The blazer, it can be sold in the general store, department store, discount mega store, and apparel store. I like that little tooltip they added per my recommendation. That was really nice of them. So I'm going to go with the general store, and we want to pick a place with a lot of red, a lot of high traffic area. Maybe over here. That would cost 7.5 million because of the land cost. Maybe something cheaper, 7.1 million. This is 4.4 million. That's, oof. Yeah, well, they're not making it easy for us, are they? If we put it over here, we're going to be demolishing things. Oh, 6.6 million. We'll put it next to the library. How about that? Okay. Now we're going to let time pass a little bit because it takes time for that stuff to produce. And now it should be there. I'm going to go ahead and go to all suppliers and then DGA Inc. And these are the three things I'm producing. I'm going to add the blazer, I'm going to add the jeans, and I'm going to add the sweater. And in the middle, I'm going to do some advertising, link media, and I think we'll choose whatever one has the most rating points. We'll go with that one. And we're going to set this small for right now. We don't want to bankrupt ourselves while we get our products going. We'll link that, that, and that. And that will affect our brand rating. So over time, it will improve slowly, very, very, very slowly. But as of right now, quality rating is 48, brand rating is 0. That will change as we do more advertising. And then our final quality is like 24, which isn't too good. We can improve that, however, by doing some R&D if we decide that that's the best thing to do. For right now, I'm just curious to see if I'll actually make a profit with this particular setup. I'm going to let time pass a little bit, and it doesn't look like it. It looks like we're still in the red there. Vertical bars represent a loss. So maybe it's part of the advertising that is giving us trouble. Maybe we're not selling enough. It all depends. Let's go ahead and take a look at this a little bit more closely. I mean, I think part of it is related to brand. Let's bump up our advertising. We're going to lose money that way, but I'm curious to see if that will like improve our brand, and then that will improve our quality, in which case sales may go up. Let's go ahead and let time pass a little bit. All right, our brand is back up to sub goal achieved. We'll get the rewards real quick. Let's take a look. We let time pass. We've been advertising out the wazoo. Our brand rating is now 62, and our overall rating is now 65. So as you can see, like, that advertising does matter. I'm going to bring it back down a bit because that's a lot of money to spend on advertising. And now that we've done that, you can kind of see that we're almost there. We're almost there. I'm going to let time pass a little bit. We're at negative 21 million, which isn't great. Cost of sales, salaries, expenses, operating overhead, advertising, and PR. Most of that is cost of sales. I wonder if we may have to bump up our pricing a little bit just to make a little bit more money. It's a thought. We could maybe try that. Yeah, overall rating is 65 and the city overall is only 18. I'm thinking that we bump this up a bit. Yeah, check mark. And I don't like doing that. I really don't. But at the same time, it's like no one's competing with me. Not really. Let's see what that does to our bottom line. Demand is really high. Is super high. And sweater, I think we did that, 248. Did we do the sweater yet? Well, even if we didn't, we'll bump that up, 85. Very expensive. Overall rating 50, 58, 54. We took a hit there, but I'm curious now to see if that affects anything. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Look at that. We weren't priced correctly. We took the default price, but now we're seeing a return. We're starting to see some green bars down there. So that's a good thing. So as long as no one enters that market and tries to like outdo us on price, we'll be okay. So we've got that going. We're making money that way. Now let's get to the DLC part of it so that you can see some of the retail stuff or some of the service DLC. So if we go to service firm, there's pizzeria, fast food joint, cake shop, and coffee shop. Let's go coffee shop. I just hope that we have the appropriate, we could probably check that, huh? If we go to coffee here, we can make a cafe Americano. We would need paper and coffee beans for that. We cannot make the cappuccino because milk is not being produced. We cannot make a latte because milk is not being produced or imported. Now, we could make a farm. Let's do that. We'll get a farm going, assuming that we have the ability to do that. Farm, yep. We'll do a medium farm. We'll get some milk going. We'll get some cows to make us some, yeah. Where is our stuff? There it is. So I want to put it next to that. And yeah, let's do cattle and milk. That, it doesn't have to be a crazy farm, just enough to start producing some milk. Now we can make all 3 coffee types, which is going to be great. So we're producing milk. And if we have to make more, we will. But for right now, I think just doing this, just getting the ball rolling, will hopefully be enough. We'll have to keep an eye on our supply and demand. But let's go back to Service Firm now and set up our coffee shops. And I believe it's 1 type per coffee shop. Can I put that there? 14 million? You got to be out of your mind. Let's go 5 million there. That's fine. And we'll add, now we're making milk. Yeah. So the latte is 60% necessity index. Cappuccino, same. And Cafe Americano is the same. So we'll start with the Cafe Americano. We'll set that up. Yeah, set up layout. There we go. And let's go to operation. There we go. So we have the operation button here. Now, this is slightly different than other like retail stores. There's an operation tab in the upper right here of this window and a marketing. This is, instead of setting up an advertising window in this 3x3 grid, you're going to go to marketing, go to link media from here, and then choose what you want, and then set up your advertising budget. And I think we'll do that for now. Maybe 10,000. That may not be enough. But for right now, again, we're just sort of setting this up. And I'm going to bump up the price slightly because I think we're the only ones making this right now. Yeah, city overall is 2 and my rating is 20. Demand is fairly high, so that's a good thing. I'm going to let time pass a little bit just to make sure that we're making some money. We kind of are. I mean, it's not a whole lot. We're barely making money. Part of that is because we're you know, that farm is draining a little bit of money from there. Maybe if we create some byproducts from here and sell that as well. Like we have cattle, right? What if we just make frozen beef, set that up? And what else could we make? Let's go with chicken, frozen chicken. Sure. And yeah, okay. So we're going to make those 2 things, and then we're going to sell that in a store somewhere. Now, do we have room over here? We do not. So we're going to make a separate little convenience store, I think. We'll go to retail store, department, supermarket, something cheap if we can. I don't think there is anything like that. Shopping mall. Shopping malls are expensive. I can't even afford that. Yeah. So the general store is 250,000 and that sells food. We'll put that over here and we'll set up the frozen beef that we're producing, and we'll set up the frozen chicken. Was there anything else that I missed? No. So we're going to sell those 2 things. And we can do a little bit of advertising. We'll link some media. I know I'm going quickly here, but I'm trying to cover as much as possible in a brief amount of time. We'll just link that up like so. Do a little bit of training. And hopefully this will also add to our profit margin just a smidgen. Let's go ahead and fast forward time, and hopefully we'll see some sales from that. We're achieving goals. So we're making money off of a variety of things now. We're selling beef. We're selling frozen chicken. We are selling some coffee. I mean, we're still doing fairly well. There's a little profit bar up here. We may have to play around with the price a little bit more. But let's go ahead and make some more. How's our paper, or not paper, but how's our milk looking? Are we making enough milk? Yellow bar is supply, orange bar is demand. Oh yeah, we're making so much milk right now. So we can afford to set up those other coffee shops and then draw from that milk that we're producing. So we're going to go back to coffee shop. We're going to put it maybe nearby here. And we did the Cafe Americano last time. Let's go ahead and do the cappuccino this time. And yeah, off we go. We'll go to marketing, go to link media. We'll set, I don't know, that one's fine, I guess. And then we'll do a little bit of that. There's no confirmation button that I see, but if I were to go back into it, it's still there at 12,500. Okay. And yeah, so now we've got 2 coffee shops. We've got 2 coffee shops. Now, brand awareness isn't budging on that. Let's go ahead and fast forward time a little bit. Still nothing. Wow, oh. Let's go ahead and up this so we can see an increase. I'm going to bring it back down, but I just want to, there it goes. Okay, now you can see brand awareness 11, overall brand 11. So I just want to make sure that, yeah, we're still in the green. I'm going to leave it like that. Looks like researchers at Fusion Group's R&D Center announce invention. Compact camera unveiled at press conference. So it looks like the camera is getting updated. And, you know, we could choose to sell that if we wanted to, but we've got focuses elsewhere. We're doing coffee, we're doing beef, we're doing frozen chicken. We're selling clothes. Speaking of which, we may now want to start investing in some R&D to buff up the tech of the products that we're currently selling. So with that being said, again, we're kind of combining all of this into one video now. We're going to go ahead and build an R&D center somewhere nearby, and we're going to do one R&D per product. Just so that everything's under one umbrella. It's going to take a little longer, but you know, we could do 9 windows for one product. It's super expensive, but we could do that. But we're going to take it easy on our finances and just do a little bit at a time. So as you can see, current tech for everything is like 30. So let's start with the Blazer, and every 2 years, expected tech advancement 11. Okay, so every 2 years, we're going to see a tech improvement for the Blazer. Let's go ahead and add another one. And we'll start R&D on the Cafe Americano. Again, we'll do 2 years. We'll set up a new one there. Start R&D, the Cappuccino. And it doesn't hurt to do this aside from it's going to cost some money, but I'd rather try and stay competitive. And by doing this, even if your product isn't weighted for tech, meaning your overall quality rating isn't heavily influenced by tech, it'll still help a little bit. And that may help you stay competitive with some of your AI opponents if they decide to try and enter the same market as you. So now we've got all 5 things. I don't think there's anything else that we're doing. Yeah, it's just these 5 things. Blazer. The meat doesn't get researched in this way. The frozen chicken, all of those farm products, that quality is improved by this training bar here. This training bar will have different effects depending on what industry it is. And I've covered that in a separate video. So I'm going to up the training on that. So we improve our quality rating there. Now, another thing I haven't shown you. Let's take a look at the headquarters. This is not in one of my other videos, but it was so easy that I didn't want to waste 20 minutes on a video for just this. So we're just going to quickly cover it here. If you build a headquarters building, you can hire a variety of different people. The ones I like to get, and you can play around with these at your own leisure. I like the public relations department. That, if you are using a corporate brand strategy, this will help big time. It says, if your corporation is using corporate brand strategy, the brand will benefit from public relation efforts. So I'm kind of like adding extra funds for advertising my brand. So this is a good way of getting your brand rating to go up in addition to doing individual stuff with your buildings. So I like the PR department because I usually do the corporate brand. What other one do I like? The HR department is kind of nice. It's a nice way of, instead of going to this building, adjusting training, going to this building, adjusting training, and so on, I can do it all from my headquarters. Adjust training levels for all of your firms. So I can do something like this, hit apply all. The new training setting has been applied to all of your firms, total 9 firms. So this headquarters building is nice, but I highly recommend that you get everything else in order first before you start doing this. I may have to turn that back down because we're starting to lose money again. So let's bring that back down to there and see if that affects anything. And the R&D is having an effect on our finances too. But if we just let time pass a little bit, we'll see our R&D doing its thing. Oh, there it goes. And if we pause, on the bottom, it's hard to see it. On the bottom, it says, your R&D of Sweater is complete. So we are starting to see an increase in our tech for all of our different products, which is great. We are now at 41. The next bump up is 52. That will improve our overall rating across the board, no matter what item it is. So right now, our quality is 52 for this, whatever, cappuccino. And if that tech goes up again, once we wait a little while and that tech, we research better tech, this quality will go up because, tech may influence that. So yeah, that is another thing to look at while you're preparing all of these products. So yeah, not too bad. I mean, we are making a decent amount of money here. And again, I feel bad because I want to show you everything from this DLC, but like some of it is so expensive. Shopping mall, 40 million, 50 million, 60 million. I can't possibly do that. I don't have enough money to show you in one video all of that. But apartment buildings, commercial buildings, I think some of this is already from the core game. I'll put an apartment building next to the cappuccinos and all that. People move in there, they'll want to walk across the street, get some coffee, something like that. I like to set my rent at 90 or so just to stay competitive. But again, in your headquarters building, you can hire a real estate department or set up a real estate department so that you can set your rent across all things if you so choose to. So there's that as well. Okay, so we're looking at about 30 minutes right now, so I think this is a good place to stop. Hopefully you found this video helpful, enjoyable, informative, and all that. If you guys haven't already, subscribe to me on Twitch and YouTube. That way you can stay up to date with any new content I happen to publish. This is Vince. Thanks for watching. I'll catch y'all next time. Take care.